Uh,
Hi guys, this is Design System Thinking A, and we are group 6. Today we're going to do a group process report about our project FLOWEMO. So today we're going to go through 4 parts. First one is versions of prototypes. Second is lesson learned. Third is teamwork evaluation, and the fourth one is next step. So here we go.
So here's some versions of our prototypes. So the first version is the online model. We built the first model of our emotion check-in wheel based on the flower shape. There are 2 layers of the flowers. Big flower will include 6 main emotions on each petal, and the small flower will include more diverse nuances of emotions. And there will be rewards are stored in the petals. And the second one, we start to build the first prototype that's based on the online model with the draft cardboard. And it's have the 5 petals since there's some struggle during the building process. And we have the modified version of the first prototype, which is the current version right now, based on the suggestion of the infrared sensor Arduino from our professor and TA ideas. So instead of the flower petals, 6 emotions are represented by the last color of the wheel. We also use 3D print wheels using the CNC, and it functions by coding on Tinkercad program, and we will use random model to function the mechanism.
Yeah, so we have made some changes from the proposed feature into the actual implementation. So when we propose some features, we decided that the player will spin around one spectrum of emotions, and there will be one pointer to point at the emotion. But now we have figured out the mechanism so that they can choose the emotion with a button, and we use the LED lights instead of the pointer when they click on the button. So that means there's no more spinning. Next, when we propose, we think of 1 big petal and 4 smaller petals. But now, in terms of some challenging in electronics, we decided to combine all the emotions into 1 big wheel, no more smaller wheels. And regarding the reward, so we thought that there will be a reward if it points. I mean the pointer points at the correct emotion that have been chosen. But now we decided that the reward should be based on the chosen emotion, but they may receive the reward if the LED light stopped at the same zone. And lastly, we have thought some way to make the game more competitive by enabling the game to be played by many players. But now we decided that would be only 1 player who can play the game at one time. But the proposed feature and the actual implementation all comes to an aim that to provide Fulbrighters with a fun, interactive, and environmentally sustainable way of doing emotional check-in.
So next we'll present about the mechanism that time. So our mechanism is basically that we need to design a product that need to remember the emotion that the player first chose, and then we have to figure out how to make sure that if the player chose chose 1 emotion, and the product will reward if after the play the emotion that randoms come out is equivalent to the emotion that the person first chose. So we use different tools we think of different tools to make that possible. First one is color sensor, next is red infrared sensor, but it doesn't work. It seems too hard for us. And lastly, we choose LED spin to make it possible. So here we will demonstrate how we will play the FLOWEMO. So first, we'll choose 1 emotion. Here I will pick the color green, which may represent the happy one. And then we'll push the button that will allow the FLOWEMO to run random through the LEDs. Here you can see it is running randomly between these four emotion. And here, as you can see, the color denotes the blue one. So they are not equivalent of each other, which means that the person will not be rewarded. So let's play another time to see case that the color is green too. The LED, the gray LED here, you can see it will denote white, and then that means the person will be rewarded. Okay, that's it.
So after building the different versions of prototype, there are some lessons that we have been learned from our experience. So there are two main lessons. So the first one is how to simplify the mechanism. So the process of the building the first prototype based on the initial model of our faced some difficulties, that there are too many details like the petals and 2 layers of flower. So that's why we cannot figure out how to actually apply in the building process. And the second one is unclear mechanism, so that we don't know how to apply the coding and making in the practical building. And the second lesson is the importance of the flexibility in modification of the product. Since we start to develop ideas toward the other version during the plan modification, we have more ideas how to combine into the new one. Since we're getting the ideas from the TA and professor, we can be able to keep the same initial value and function of the product, but at the same time, we can improve and simplify it in a more efficient way.
Okay, so about our teamwork evaluation, what we have done well is that we are resilient to change. We have creative ideas, and we got more regular meetings, but still there is room for improvement. First of all is the progress tracking. The number two is that we kind of have broken communication. Sometimes we cannot reach to one another, for example, lack of common schedule. And the last one is that we gotta push up the speed because we are a little behind of our progress comparing to other groups. So yeah, we gotta push up the speed. Our plan to improve. So first of all, we need to identify again the timeline and plan revision. We need to bond more, share more, and give out communication rules. We need to have a clearer task assignments. And last but not least, we got to reach out for more engineering support.
Yep, so we have proposed a tentative timeline, which is expected to facilitate our progress. So from here to the next week, we will finalize our mechanism, and from here to May the 15th, we expect to complete our final product after the declaration and reward preparation. Yeah, and on May 23rd, we expect to complete the final product, and then we will have a final product demo and showcase on the last day of May.
That changes over time.